On May 10th, 2025, over 2,000 people witnessed multiple unidentified flying objects in the sky across Eastbourne, East Sussex, England. Although they weren't unidentified, we knew who they were, we knew where they were from. Apart from the Earth military, there was a particular Earth military craft known as a TR-3B or a more advanced TR-9, a military vehicle that many mistook for an unidentified flying object, a flying saucer, etc. We proved yet again at our event, Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection, that the Earth military work hand in hand with the good off-world military known as the Galactic Federation of Worlds. And I today proudly bring you the name of the RAF base that released that flying object. Here is the proof. May 10th, 2025, over 2,000 people gathered on Wish Tower Hill at Eastbourne seafront to witness numerous spacecraft and a UK military craft. Dani Henderson, that's me, of Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection, known also as GSIC, announced the date, the time and the place for this event to take place. The UK military craft came from RAF Lakenheath, 492 2nd Madhatters. On that evening, military personnel were given the weekend off from duty with no explanation. They only knew something big was going down. I learnt this from a witness that gave me this information today. Elena Danaan Emissary for the Galactic Federation told me a new team was implemented for this world first event, and secrecy for some military personnel was paramount. During the event at Eastbourne Wish Tower, 2,000 eyewitnesses took countless videos and photos. The media has tried in vain to cover this huge event up, but it's too late. We have proof, video, the name of the base and more. You can contact me at galacticspiritualinformers.com. Footage of Eastbourne flyover below. More explanation about that and video which I'll come to. On the night of September 27th, 2024, a fleet of spacecraft flew over 1,000 eyewitnesses, a spectacular fleet from the Galactic Federation in a no-drone flyover zone between two airports, Denver and Boulder in Colorado, America, with NORAD in the same area. At one point, a TR-3B flew low over the crowd, again proving the US military are in alliance with the Galactic Federation of Worlds, a military off-faction, off-world group who are protecting this planet and making sure that nefarious things do not happen to our beautiful world. The TR-3B craft was verified as coming from Cheyenne Mountain Air Force Base. The American media covered this up. For more information, contact me, Dani Henderson, info@galacticspiritualinformers.com. We have footage of Westminster, Colorado flyover and further proof. On January 7th, 2023, General Glenn Van Herk, former director of NORAD at the time, met with ET military commander Thorhan Aredian at Raven Rock Military Base to hand over information of the updated plan of disclosure. Haim Ashed, the former head of Israel's military space program, says the aliens have their own organization named Galactic Federation. This was reported in 2020. Haim Ashed, at the time 87, had headed Israel's Defense Space Unit for 3 decades. He said he can prove the existence of aliens, adding that the aliens even have their own organization named Galactic Federation. Elena Danaan Emissary for the Galactic Federation of Worlds have been bringing evidence of her contact with the Galactic Federation of Worlds since 2019 in books, documentaries and interviews. Dani Henderson has created conferences to highlight the greatest whistleblowers from military, government, ET contact, suppressed technology, secret space programs, and much more since 2022. At every conference, there have been numerous ET and Earth military craft flying over thousands of attendees at these events. Now I'm going to show you the footage. This is our May 10th event, where over 2,000 people witnessed the following. So as you can see, there is evidence of the flyover that happened in Eastbourne, England on May the 10th, 2025. And I have long searched for proof, physical evidence, the name of the military base, RAF Lakenheath. Royal Air Force, Lakenheath. What I didn't know was that this military base protects and looks after British and US civilians, as well as many family members. And there is an operation here called Madhatters. And it was from this base that this beautiful military machine flew over 2,000 people at Eastbourne seafront over the Wish Tower Hotel. Now here is the footage that we got at our American event. On the 27th of September 2024, and what you're going to see is night vision footage of military craft, a TR-3B, flashing its green lights in each corner, also its anti-gravity propulsion system, and you'll also see a space fleet flying over from the Galactic Federation of Worlds. That right there is the TR-3B, flashing its lights, propulsion, anti-gravity system. An Earth military craft from reverse engineered off-world technology. Over 1,000 of us watching this. Now, I wish to emphasise the point that when we got the information today that the British military base at RAF Lakenheath, home of the Madhatters, was proven to be the base that the military craft flew out of on May the 10th, 2025. Now, you just saw night vision footage from September 27th, 2024. Elena Danaan, the emissary for the Galactic Federation of Worlds, has been bringing information since before 2019. She's probably one of the most attacked people I ever met on my life, but she is the one who is bringing physical information and physical craft on her watch, on her call. And we say the day, the location, the time when these craft will come. How else is that possibly possible? It simply isn't. Now, we have to be very careful because there are many groups such as MUFON, Mutual UFO Network, that I will say publicly, many are infiltrated, and I have met some of these infiltrators. It doesn't matter who says they want disclosure in the disclosure field, not everybody does. And there is a ridiculous amount of negativity, and that's all right. You have to focus on who is bringing the information, who is bringing the proof, who claims on the day, the time, and the location, and then thousands of people see the evidence. Humanity is ready. We are ready. And there isn't a military, a government, a governing body that will tell me or you, my brothers and my sisters, on our planet, something that we are not ready for. How very rude. I don't accept it. I never have. I never will. We bring the craft, and it's time for us to stand together and recognize we've all been lied to. And I'm so proud of RAF Lakenheath, and I support all of you, good military personnel, for the work you do. I'm so proud of you. I'm so grateful to you. That night, that weekend, you ordered many of your personnel on site not to be there. You gave them the weekend off. You didn't tell them what was happening, but many knew something big was going to happen, and it was the flyover over Eastbourne, Eastbourne Beach, specifically over the area I said, the Wish Tower, between the pier and the Wish Tower. And there were over 2,000 of us that saw it. And the British military has also tried to cover this up. I'm going to share with you Galactic Spiritual Informers and what we're all about. Did you know there's a shadow military globally? Did you know that there is a secret space program in the military industrial complex on your planet? Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection, or GSIC, brings together the greatest whistleblowers in disclosure on the entire planet to give humanity the truth. GSIC 2024 was beyond my wildest dreams. Each year it's got bigger and bigger.
This year, the caliber of all the speakers and everything is this, well, thus far it's been the best one ever.
The Skywatch was an incredible time.
When that happened, when Elena brought, are you serious?
It's a momentous sort of moment for humanity. And me, myself, I can vouch for what I saw.
Dani had asked me a few months ago, could Thorhan, my contact in the Galactic Federation of Worlds, could he bring spaceships over the hotel? And at the precise moment, precise location, we had a show of extraterrestrial scout ships flying information. There were 1,000 people, 1,000 witnesses, ships scattering, forming back. It was amazing, and we had a TR-3B.
And that meant that the Earth Alliance was cooperating, coordinating with the Galactic Federation.
When these craft came, they were moving at very high speeds with no sound, no trails.
And then the roar of the crowd, the emotions, the craft came down. You could feel everyone there just raising their hearts, and they couldn't believe it. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Absolutely incredible. Definitely recommend it for sure.
The best disclosure conference in the world.
This was the best 3 days of my entire life. I'm still buzzing.
The realization that it is all real.
I feel like we've all been waiting for this for so long.
The energy was amazing. GSIC was amazing.
There's so much more to the universe than we've ever been told.
As a humanity, we have hope. We are the disclosure. So now let's look at someone who is in the region of reporting on British forces and sharing that there were drones spotted over 3 US bases. So we are seeing many drones appearing over US Air Force bases in the UK and UK Air Force bases. The good ETs are here, and they are here to support us, humanity. Disclosure is on time. Now here is a bit more information. This is Elena Danaan, who put together beautiful, there she is, Elena Danaan, put together lots of information on the Eastbourne flyover on May 10th. We had so many people bring in their videos, their photos of the many craft that they witnessed. There were so many people there. There was a guy who'd come from a long way to film. There were many different beautiful anomalies, so many, just stunning, stunning, stunning. So many things, so many different shapes. It was just absolutely incredible. Beyond, beyond, beyond. So much to see here on Elena Danaan's channel, and you can find all this information underneath this broadcast. But I'm going to show you a few minutes of this film made by a Japanese person.
May 10th, 2025. The Galactic Federation kept their promise, and they appeared. May 10th, the beginning of a golden age. UFO footage captured this historic moment. For those following our channel, you'll recognize Elena Danaan and JP, whom we've featured before. Now, at last, we have footage that backs their claims. We are contactees of the Galactic Federation. Yes, they've done it again. And tonight, we want to share this footage with all of you gathered here. Together, we'll explore what really happened that day. So, what's happening around the world right now? One thing is certain. Once you see the real starships of our cosmic friends, you won't be able to look away. May 10th, 2025. A special event took place in Eastbourne, a quiet seaside town in the UK. The organizer of this big event was Dani Henderson. The event was called Galactic and Spiritual Informers Connection, commonly known as G6. Dani is known for her contact experiences with extraterrestrials and spiritual healing. Through G6, she hosts international events sharing information about aliens, UFOs, secret space programs, and contact with extraterrestrials. On the day of the event, about 750 people attended G6. Local residents and tourists also gathered for the night sky observation, bringing the total audience to about 2,500 people. The highlight of this event was JP, a U.S. Army insider previously featured on this channel. Through his ongoing contact, he arranged for an extraterrestrial flyover above Eastbourne, England, specifying the exact time and location. The spacecraft were to fly over the English Channel, and they included triangular TR-3Bs as well as long cigar-shaped craft. Witnesses say the scene was truly breathtaking. JP is said to have a special connection with beings from both off-world and inner Earth. He carries out ongoing missions in space on behalf of the United States Space Force and is regarded as a truly exceptional individual, possessing advanced consciousness and powerful psychic abilities. On September 27, 2024, in Westminster, Colorado, Elena successfully hosted the world's first UFO flyover, witnessed by over 1,000 people. Following that success, she decided to hand over the lead role in the next extraterrestrial spacecraft flyover event to JP, who had been eager to take on the mission. Many of you may already know about the ship demonstration that took place in Westminster, but for those who don't, let me explain in detail.
So, that is somewhere you can go to get a lot more information on Elena Danaan's channel, and you just simply go to articles and the Eastbourne flyover, and it will be there. And for more information on her, just go to elenadanaan.org. Now, this is a channel called Redacted that I watch. I like it. And here is what happened 17 hours ago.
UFOs over Miami, in fact, all over Florida. Reports have been pouring in over the past week of eyewitnesses like her. She saw them, seeing UFOs breaking apart midair, reassembling large triangular-shaped craft the size of football fields, appearing, hovering in the night sky. Here's just one example. Take a look.
I see the second one, but it just came out of it. No, it's not listening to me. The one on the right came out of it. I swear it did. From behind it. I saw it come from behind. Nah, man, that came out of it. Yes, and look, it was moving.
Yeah, and this is just one example. People sending in all sorts of different reports on social media about sightings over Miami, all across Florida. But we also have a bit of a shocking bit of news we're going to get to here in a moment with our next guest, Ron James from MUFON, Mutual UFO Network, with some big news we're going to get to in a second. Ron, welcome to the show. Great to see you. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me on again.
My pleasure. Great to have you here. And so a couple of things I want to unpack. I know you have some big news I want to get to here in a moment, but first I want to talk about this Miami UFO flap and then also talk about that Bayside Mall incident here. But what is going on in Florida right now? You guys at the Mutual UFO Network get all sorts of sighting reports from eyewitnesses. You have to go out with an investigation team and verify and do all of that. So can you walk us through, like, what are we seeing in Florida right now? Well, there seems to be a certain flap around Miami with the sighting like you guys showed me that was on Twitter. We did a preliminary analysis of that, and we think that it's just aviation. There seems to be some police activity on the ground, and we're going to do a deeper dive into the video with our team of video and analysts. But right now, we don't think it's anomalous.
Okay,
but
good.
there have been a lot of reports. And so it's, one of the things that gives MUFON's credibility is that we're not attached to outcomes. And 96% of the cases that we get, we end up finding an explanation for them. So what we'll do with this one is we'll look at where it is. We'll look at air traffic records. We'll reach out to law enforcement to find out what was going on that's actually in the shot. And then we'll try to come up with a conclusion that fits the circumstances.
So he's going to come up with a conclusion that fits the narrative that we've all been under duress with for many, many years. I have met people at MUFON. It is run by volunteers, people, by volunteers who espouse and propose. Of course, there are good people. I can name one, Karen Hill. She did the green night vision footage I shared with you earlier. She's from a MUFON in America, I believe Tucson, Arizona. She's a director there. There are good people. I myself do not listen to anyone in particular. I myself are bringing evidence, physical proof, the name of the RAF base, RAF Lakenheath in England, the name of the military base in America that sent a TR-3B on 27th of September 2024, Cheyenne Mountain. I mentioned to you already, General Van Herk, who was former director of NORAD, was given information in the form of a black digital cube that could be translated through the Earth military technology, giving us information and updates on the disclosure program that is rolling out between the Earth military and the good ETs. So trust your own self. Now I want you to see, this is my channel, Dani Henderson. This is my YouTube channel. We cover many, many, many subjects here. Right here, Bigfoot in Florida, we have an actual photograph taken just last week. Kathy O'Brien. This was a woman who was trafficked through the White House, the Pentagon, and she's been writing and sharing for over 30 years. This channel brings information that is provable with physical evidence and eyewitness testimonies on the true history of your planet, as does my conference, Galactic Spiritual Informers. Here's the great Alex Collier, sitting with me, allowing me to share the website for Galactic Informers, sharing his own information on the Andromedans. Here is Daniel Brinkley. He actually works with the US government. He's been in a senior military position. He sits with people who are literally dying and passing on to the next realm because he doesn't want anybody to be afraid, and he's had so many near-death experiences. It's just amazing. We have World News here, Elena and JP, who were in Japan recently. We have Emery Smith, who's speaking at our next event. There are so many subjects covered. We have Billy Carson here, who is speaking at our next event. We also have information on Tesla, with so much information on current affairs and current things, and beautiful footage of real people with real video evidence. And that is what I do in my world. And I am so happy today to be able to prove again that the craft we saw came from Royal Air Force Lakenheath in the UK, and over 2,000 eyewitnesses saw the TR-9, we believe, a very advanced military craft built by the Navy. I know that's a surprise, built by the actual Navy. Going back here again to my article, UK Air Force Base in alliance with the Galactic Federation of Worlds, not light. The Galactic Federation of Light is a proven psyop. It's been debunked. There is physical evidence from the CIA, FBI. They created the Galactic Federation of Light to distract humanity. I'm speaking of the military Galactic Federation of Worlds. I couldn't make it clearer. It's so exciting. It's just the most exciting thing ever. I'm so thrilled to be able to bring you this information. Here is some information on one of the military or government projects called Project Bluebeam. that they want to put...
What if the greatest threat to our world isn't a virus or nuclear war, but an illusion so convincing that every eye on Earth believes it is real? What if across every continent, every faith, and every culture, people see their most sacred figure dancing through the clouds, only to discover that what they witnessed was nothing but a carefully engineered lie? This is the story of Project Blue Beam, a conspiracy theory born in the mind of one man and spread through whispers of secret societies and rumors of advanced technology. Serge Monast was not always a conspiracist. Born in Quebec in 1945, he began his career writing poems and essays, covering politics for local newspapers, and exploring the fringes of social credit theory. In the early 1990s, after founding the International Free Press Agency, Monast turned his attention to a far darker subject, the New World Order. Inspired by the naval intelligence officer William Guy Carr, he believed that unseen masters were pulling strings behind world events. Monast's book, Project Blue Beam, NASA, published in the mid-1990s, claimed that NASA itself would spearhead a series of events so terrifying and so breathtaking that every human being would kneel before a single, unified deity. Monast first predicted the plan's enactment in 1983. When nothing happened, he reset his clock to 1995, then to 1996, and finally to the year 2000. His followers shrugged off each failure of timing, arguing that the conspirators had only delayed their timetable, not abandoned it. Despite these missed deadlines, Monast spoke at UFO conventions and on the TV show Esoterism Experimental, cultivating a small but fervent audience that believed the plan was ongoing, hidden in every piece of advanced technology. At the heart of Project Blue Beam are 4 stages of psychological warfare. The first stage involves engineered archaeology. Monast claimed that under the guise of new seismic research, secret weapons would trigger earthquakes at ancient sites around the world. Out of the crumbled ruins, newly discovered artifacts, fake relics designed to rewrite human history, would surface. According to Monast, these findings would discredit every major religion, idols would be exposed as frauds, sacred texts would be recast as errors, and millions of believers would lose their spiritual foundation overnight. Hollywood had already prepared us for such revelations, Monast argued. Films like 2001: A Space Odyssey and Indiana Jones had conditioned audiences to expect that buried mysteries would upend everything we thought we knew about ourselves. The second stage is the Peace Day Resistance, a global holographic spectacle. Imagine satellites and ground-based laser platforms working in unison to project three-dimensional images across the sky. In Jerusalem, worshippers would see the Jewish Messiah. In Mecca, pilgrims would witness the voice of Allah ringing out from the heavens. In Rome, the figure of Christ would float above the Vatican. Then, in an act of cosmic unity, all these deities would merge into one, forming what Monast called the electronic Antichrist.
So, it's very important here to precise to everyone that there has been a long-term plan, generational and decades. Project Blue Beam is not on track, and I've seen some of the technology, and I've seen the giant jumping Jesus thrown up in the sky, a holographic image that looks so real, it looks so 3D. Technology is so advanced, it's so easy to be fooled. You can say that a lot of the Starlink type technologies that have been thrown up into the sky have literally, I'm not saying specifically Starlink, but I worked in the space industry for quite some time. I worked in satellite manufacture. I'm also a qualified journalist. I was qualified in the late 1990s. Little did I know that I actually have a legal right to speak out more on such matters than I ever realized. During my journalistic studies, we had to study law, and the law we studied was called the Law of Tort, T-R-O-T. That is the law of the people. The people of this planet deserve and must have the truth presented to them with no other agenda for any man or woman or group or authority or self-anointed, self-appointed muppet that lies and maims the growth and the beauty of this humanity that we all imbue. We are beautiful, amazing beings. And can people please stop fighting? Stop trying to be the one to put a name on the lid. Disclosure is for everybody. All you have to do is bring your proof and your evidence. Share your stories. Your stories are important. People from the military, step forward. It is time. It is time. People in the government, people who may have been in nefarious groups, step forward now. Everything is happening. Everything is coming out. Nothing is stopping what is happening. There is a potential neural link across our world with so many satellites up in the area, in the orbital areas of planet. We have lower orbit, middle orbit, and geostationary orbit. And that's generally the orbit where the satellites are launched, but they're also operating in lower orbit as well. What does that mean? That means they can influence the planet. Of course they can. Look at your mobile phones. There are hundreds of thousands of satellites. Project Blue Beam works loosely on something called a major projector. The technology is so clever now. They can literally use the sky as a screen. and project images from satellite to Earth, where you will see Jesus and all of the great lords and gods, and to be fooled in angels, and it was long-term planned. It's an old story. The US, the military, and other world governments have been working with extraterrestrials for many years. Now in 2025, the nefarious ones have been cleared out and moved on. Now we're just dealing with the scummery in leadership on every level. Most of the leaders that are actually pulling strings, you'll never know their names. You'll never know them. They've been doing this a long time. They are long practiced. They're very practiced. And they don't want this planet to evolve. And it is. And we shall. And we are. So I urge you, be loving, be kind. Be kind to each other. Stop fighting. And recognize there are very hard-working men and women in the military and in government areas and in groups. It isn't about taking someone down. It is about watching who is bringing information, who is proving that what they say is happening and coming true. And again, I will say Elena Danaan is one person I trust implicitly. She's the only person I've seen so far in these last 5 years across the disclosure front who has said everything she's said, she's brought proof for, evidence for. And there are other whistleblowers, myself included, who have witnessed and seen some of the personnel that she works with off-planet. I love you, humanity. I am here for you, and that's why I do my conferences, Galactic Spiritual Informers. We have one coming up 19th of September in Charlotte, North Carolina. Be there. And to the press that want to come, just come. Just stand outside in the park at night and see the craft fly over. That part is free. And to you guys out there, be loving, be kind, don't be afraid. This is an amazing time to be alive. And again, I salute RAF Lakenheath in England for flying over that beautiful craft and proving that the Galactic Federation of Worlds, the beautiful benevolent ETs, are working hand in hand with the Earth military. My name is Dani Henderson. I send love to you from my heart to yours, and I'll see you soon.